Hey guys, I just wanted to apologise because as you can see I'm currently on holiday in Croatia. We batch recorded a bunch of episodes right before I went away, and unfortunately some issues happened with the audio, so we can't use the proper audio. We have to use the audio from the camera mic. The answers are still there. We wanted to release the episodes and provide that value, but the audio quality might not be quite as good as it usually is, so thank you for bearing with us, and I will see you when I get back home. In today's episode, we talk about whether engagement means the content is good quality, and clickbait. Welcome to episode 58 of the Honest Entrepreneur Show. My name's Tom Ross, and let's get into it. Fun fact for this episode, my company Design Cuts is moving offices in about 1 month, and I still have a pipe dream of having a giant slide going into a ball pit. I don't care if it's the biggest waste of money and it's completely stupid. I want that.
This question is from Matt. How is content engagement related to content quality?
That's a really solid question, Matt, and welcome to the show. I think the answer is it's not always. So there are some pieces of content that just fly and do really well, and they're not that great. And there's others that are fantastic and they just don't get the love they deserve. So it happens, right? And to prove it happens, I've actually seen people who will put out the exact same piece of content and it's almost like a lottery. So sometimes it will do crap and other times it will blow up and practically go viral. And nothing has changed. It's just like the serendipity of the day. So I think that's actually quite a healthy mindset in a sense, because realize it's not all like a personal attack on you. Like it can have a degree of luck or chance to it, but luck and chance doesn't really help us, right? So on the flip side of that, yes, there are metrics. I talked recently how I prefer to look at like depth instead of width with this. So my metric of choice is like how many engaged comments am I getting where people actually show they really care and benefit from the content. That's how I know if something's doing well. To be honest, more so than like viral content. I've had content go viral before and it's blown up. It's been shared all over the place, but it hasn't necessarily helped us that much. So there's good viral and bad viral in my eyes. Like stuff can get a load of engagement, but if it's not actually helping your business or your brand and it's just a flash in the pan, then not so good. If it's something that gets you a ton of positive coverage and really helps elevate you to the next level, then that's fantastic. So as I say, I think like content can have a degree of luck behind it, but putting luck to one side, you should be using the strategies I talk about on this show. You should be actually paying attention to the patterns. You know, one-offs and like little bits of luck don't help us at all, but actually looking at the overall patterns of like, well, generally it always happens that when I post this type of thing, it does well. And generally it always happens that when I post this kind of thing, it does really crap. And so these patterns over time will be something that you can actually tune into and just start to really kind of work out like, okay, people regard this content as good quality, this content as bad quality. And it might not always be the same as your perception. You know, I wouldn't get precious. If your audience are loving a specific type of content, then it's like beauty's in the eye of the beholder. You know, you might not like it that much, but your audience may love it. So I think it was Van Morrison with Brown Eyed Girl. He hated that song, supposedly. He detested it. But his audience decided it's a great song. Like they loved it. One of his biggest hits ever, one of the biggest records of all time. And he didn't really like it. He wasn't so pleased with it. And I think we often see that in our own content, right? So I'm a big believer in like not being so ego driven and kind of going where my audience just tell me to go. So I might love a piece of content. If my audience hate it, then I'm like, fine, it's not for them. I'll keep that to myself in future. Equally, if I'm kind of lukewarm on something and my audience go nuts for it every single time, then I'm probably going to keep doing more of that unless I like really, really hate it and just feel miserable producing it. But, you know, I thrive off of that audience feedback. I love the social listening. I think we could all, to answer your question, I think we need to listen more. So actually be a bit more aware. Don't just blindly pump out content and never stop to audit it. I'm a huge fan of actually paying attention and being like, what are my audience telling me consistently with their reactions that I should be doing more of and that they love and that brings them value? And so I guess on a final note, look at your discover section on Instagram, because like we're talking here in terms of your content strategy, and it's like your audience's engagement should tell you a thing or two. But when you look at wider content on the internet, the amount of times that I'm like, it's Kylie Jenner like holding a freaking cat, and someone in the video still has put like a really shocking thing and done that stupid red circle around the cat or whatever. So it's like really clickbaity. Like that might get a lot of engagement, but I'm pretty sure that's not good quality content. Or it's like put Donald Trump's face on anything and it just blows up. Does that make it good content? I would say probably not. And yeah, I mean, it's depth over width. I talk about this all the time. Like, it's not how many people see what it is you're doing, it's how many care and how many actually engage. So it's easy to get a lot of people looking at content, but how many people instantly hit the back button or swipe back to the main discover? Because I know quite often I'll see something, I'll be like, wow, that's really shocking or different or interesting, because I get sucked into the clickbait. And then 2 seconds into watching it, I'm like, this is really lame. Next. Like, just because 10 million people had that lame experience, does that make that good quality content? I would say absolutely not. So you want to pay attention, you want to be mindful, you want to audit how your audience respond, but you don't just want to endlessly chase likes and engagement, because if we did that, then we'd all be putting up photos of like Megan fucking Fox, and that's dated actually. Kylie Jenner. Marco, who's like a millennial person?
Yeah,
Kylie Jenner. Yeah. If you want likes, go and put some like shocking clickbait headline over a Kylie Jenner photo. But I would say that's probably not going to be the best marketing strategy for your business. Question of the day. What do you think about clickbait? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm really enjoying the YouTube show. If you are too, then be sure to hit the subscribe icon and tick the little bell to get notifications when I post new content on this platform.